Hi, friends. Hello, the world. Welcome back to this episode of Complaint Free Life. And here is another tool that I want to introduce, which is the sixth tool that I'm calling it as the real reason. Because oftentimes, when we're making goals, when we're setting goals of transitioning, goals of living where we want to, goals of doing what we want to, create the impact we want to, I've noticed that we've oftentimes used the reason for not going and pursuing, that's actually not the reason. And that's why we struggle to really find why we can't really do that. And also we stop ourselves from going to what we really want because of the wrong reason, I would say. And wrong in quotes, meaning that they're not the actual reason because of which we don't pursue what we really want. So that's why I would love for you to use this tool to understand um, what is the real reason for you not to pursue what you're wanting, and being aware of it and owning it, that this is the reason why I'm not pursuing it, and feeling that feeling and stop making yourself feel powerless because of which you can't really pursue that goal, right? So that's why I really want everyone who is setting a goal or who's thinking about a goal or who's even really just wanting something else, notice what is the reason why you're not pursuing it and keep working on that real reason instead of using an excuse, using an explanation that's not the actual reason why you're not pursuing, and keep using that as to why you can't really pursue, and tell yourself that you can't do anything about it and make yourself powerless, right? So let's dive in, and I will give you the example here, and then I hope that you will be using that in using this in your own, modifying it to your own setting, and using it in the way you want to. And I highly recommend you getting coach from me so we can dive into this tool together to get to the actual real reason, and then decide what to do with that actual real reason. So I made it very simple so that you can use it immediately without thinking much about it. And in our tool, we have two components, and then we will be diving into the third component of the explanation, right? So usually how this happens is that we define or we understand that what we're really wanting, right? So a lot of my clients want to, excuse me, work with me so that they can live wherever they want to live with the loved ones they want to live, right? And then do whatever they want to do, and then have the freedom, financial freedom, emotional, any other freedom you can think of, have that freedom to be doing whatever they want to in their life, basically. So have all the tools and resources to support the first and the second goal, right? So this is the three main reasons why my people come to me to work with me and get to their goals. And then, of course, oftentimes we then uncover that we are secretly or officially thinking these are the obstacles because of which we can't get to these goals. So the obstacles usually evolve around a market, around money, and around other people. And I will explain to you in a minute what all of those means. And then I will give you a specific example to see how that goes, right? So the market, we usually say things like, well, the market where I'm going to don't really want the experience, or don't really is in a recession, or whatever the things that we explain. And then we also explain about the money, that it's a lot of money, and I will give you the specific example around money. And then the others, meaning that no one can really help me. I have a family to support, I have this expenses or other things, or the lifestyle that I'm wanting is very costs a lot, and that's why I can't really go for what I really want, basically, because this is a lot, right? So then the specific example, if we were to look at it, the specific example of explaining to ourselves why we can't really pursue our goals, the reasons that we think are these. which are not, but we think these are the reasons, right? So let's imagine the money story that we tell, right? So we say that it's a lot of money, no one is outside offering that a lot of money, competition is fierce, and then no one really wants what my experience is, or no one really understands, or whatever the thing that we say. And there might be other things. So you go ahead and put all the things of what do you think is the reason why you can't really achieve your goal, right? So we believe that this is the reason, but it's not the reason. And I really can't highlight like enough to say that this is not the reason. But let's get to finding out why this is not the reason, right? So don't take my word for it. I want you to think through together with me so that we can come to a similar conclusions together. And if you have a different conclusion, please come over and I would love to coach you on that as well. So all of these sentences have in common is the fear or some version of scarcity and lack, right? And the question that we want to ask then is, why is that? So all of this might be true and all of this might not be true. We don't really know, but somehow this is the assessment that we have made, because of which we are saying that we can't really pursue what we want, right? So then we want to understand the feeling that comes with all of these expressions, whatever that feeling is. So it could be, as I said, fear, it could be some kind of scarcity, it could be some kind of stopping ourselves, some kind of it's not going to work, basically, right? The question then we want to ask is, why is that? Why are we feeling this? Why are we feeling this, and why are we believing that all of this won't work? Because essentially what we're believing is, right, we're not believing that it will work. So why are we believing that all of this won't work, right? And then, so we ask the question of why. Why are we believing that it won't work? Then we want to understand the reason why we're not believing that it will work is because we're not really believing ourselves that we can make it work. We're not really believing that what we're wanting is feasible and possible. We're not really believing that there are other people who can help us, or there are other ways to get help or to get to the goal that we want, or we're not really believing that there are other people who are wanting our experience, right? So this is the reason why we're not really going for what we want. This is the actual reason. And the other one was like the preview reason, or the reason that we just explain away why we can't do. And this is where all of the sources of why we're not pursuing what we're not pursuing. And this is another one just for you to then understand, is that another way of looking at it is that because we're afraid of our emotions, we're afraid of dealing with our fears, with our lack and scarcity, and we don't really know how to deal with them. And that's why this all feeds into this as well, because we're not trusting ourselves to feel all of whatever is happening. We're not really trusting ourselves to pursue after our dreams, no matter what the emotions that come up in the process, right? So that's why I want you to really like in understand and internalize, why are you not believing that your dream can come true? Or why are you not believing that what you're wanting cannot come true? It all comes down to this. And if you have other reasons that you have found, I would love to hear your reasons so that we can work out what to do with those reasons, right? Because imagine if you believed yourself and your dreams and other people who can help you get to where you want to. Imagine you can really like believe this. How would this scenario be different? So you cannot really see the rest of it. Don't worry, I will be reading out to you because I wanted to bring it close to you so that you can see. So imagine you believe yourself and you believe what you're wanting, and you also believe that there are other people who can help you. For instance, coaches like me or other people who really want your experience, and or you really are in demand, and your work and your experience is in demand, imagine how would you approach the same obstacles that you have, right? So in all of those same goals that you have and all the same obstacles, but how you would approach it would be very different than the way that you're approaching now. Because the way you would be approaching is like, yes, it is a lot of money what we're wanting, because we have a certain standard of living our life, or we have a certain standard of working in the workplace. We have certain requirements or wants that we really want. That's amazing. So now we also should have the same standards of how we are able to achieve the money, or create the money we want, or compete in the market we want. Whatever the thing, we have the same confidence, the same ability to create or make the money that we want to, and then go after it. The same goes for all the other obstacles, right? So, for instance, if we're saying no one is offering this money or salary in the market, maybe it is true, maybe it's not. So, why are we not going for higher positions to apply for? So, because we usually tend to look at certain levels, because we judge that this is our level. If we apply for a job, this is our level, and based on our experience, and then we make it very humble, or make it even like undermining, because we believe we are afraid of the competition, right? So that's why we are like going for the basics of what the job market offers in the place where we're going for, and then we tell ourselves that we can't really go, we can't really work there, because they're looking for this high profiles and I don't have that high profile. Instead of, why not go for the high profiles that we want to? And what is it lacking? Is it the confidence that's lacking? So let's work on that confidence. Is it the number of experience, or is it something else? What is specifically lacking in our own minds? And let's work on that, believing that this is what we have is amazing, what we have is exactly what they need, and let's working on formulating that. Let's working on creating that experience, or let's try and apply already and see what are the results we see, or let's give ourselves a chance to create this amount on our own by being self-employed, or by being entrepreneur, by being finding other ways to create the money, so that we can create the impact we want, so that we can live the life we want, so that we can have the freedom to do whatever we want to, right? So you see what I'm saying? So whenever you have this inherent belief and trust in yourself and in whatever you're wanting, and you also trust other people out there who can help you get to where you want to, or other people who actually want what you're offering, whenever we are believing and in trust, we get so creative, and we get so free to be searching for different options, different possibilities to achieve to our goal, rather than just keep stopping ourselves and pressing the brakes and saying that, well, I can't, and then like start disappointing ourselves in advance, or start failing in advance, so that we don't have to actually fail and then suffer from it. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why, my dears, I really, really, really encourage you. I hope I didn't remember. I really, really encourage you to be working on the actual reason of why you are not achieving your goal, and not on the reason that your brain, like on the surface level, offers you. This is the reason why you can't do this XYZ. This is the reason, and then we just believe those reasons, and then go and surf flow in our lives, and doing things that we don't want to, or even if we're doing things we want to, but we're wanting to be with our families, and we're just not being with our families because of this not actual reasons, when actually we could be working on those beliefs, we could be working on that trust, we could be working on um, uh, strengthening all of the experience, all of the wisdom, all of the all of what we have so far and use that in the way to get to where we want to, rather than use it against ourselves and then stop ourselves from going where we want to, right? So that's why this is a perfect time to start working on the actual reasons. Come to work with me, or come to work with any coaches for that matter. Important is that you start giving yourself a chance to believe in all of what you're wanting and pursuing them, knowing that it will not be as easy as you want to, but also staying where you are won't be easy. So that's why at least give us a chance to go to where we want to and start working towards believing that this is exactly what we're going to do and this is how we're going to achieve it. Have an amazing week and see you very soon. Bye.